Hi, my name is John Petty, and I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Growing Up in Flip Flops. This episode, I'll tell you about an instance that does not involve me directly, and that is only by the grace of God. I've said in a previous episode that a buddy of mine his family had a 19-foot outboard. And on some weekends that after Friday school was let out, I had a sleeping bag and fishing poles and would meet him in the high school parking lot. He was towing the family outboard in the school parking lot, and we would head straight down to the Gulf, spend the weekend out water skiing or fishing, camping out on one of the uninhabited islands that is down in southwest Florida. But this one particular weekend, for whatever reason I can't remember, he had asked if I wanted to go out, and of course I did. But when I told my mother I wanted to, I don't know, there was something going on. And my mother said, absolutely not, I wasn't going out. For whatever reason, I had to stay at home that weekend. And so my buddy asked another friend. Well, that. Except I heard about what happened with my buddy and my replacement a few days later. They went out, put in at Punta Rassa Marina, which is on the land side, opposite Sanibel Island, and went out and were on the what I call the back bay behind Sanibel Island, between Sanibel and Pine Island and Punta Rassa and the mainland. There is a Sanibel Causeway Bridge. If you saw images from Hurricane Ian, portions of that bridge were completely destroyed by Hurricane Ian, but this is obviously way before that. Well, apparently, with some manner, I don't know how, but I have no doubt that there was probably alcohol involved. My buddy managed to sink his boat in the channel underneath the Sanibel Causeway Bridge. He hit one of the pilings and sank the boat, blocked the channel. Well, my buddy and my replacement were both on the swim team, and at that time the team was vying for a state championship swim team. So they abandoned the boat in the channel and swam the mile back to Punta Rassa Marina, with leaving the boat sunk in the channel. My friend told me that he drove his car, towing the empty trailer back home, and got home. His father noticed the trailer was empty, and as he pulled in, said, hey, did you leave the boat at the marina? To which my friend replied, yeah. About that time, the phone rang. Father went to answer the phone. Well, lo and behold, who was it on the phone? But it was the Coast Guard, who found the boat blocking the channel, took its registration number, traced that down, and found out it was owned by my friend's father. We're calling him to inform him that the boat was blocking the channel and he had better arrange for a salvage operation pronto, or the Coast Guard was going to salvage the boat. They weren't going to be too careful about how they did it, and he was going to be billed for all these charges. Besides, because the channel going under the Causeway Bridge was the short way out onto the Gulf from the back bay, all these people with the channel blocked were literally having to go all the way up the back bay, around Sanibel, Captiva, North Captiva Island, and work their way through one of the passes up there to get out in the Gulf. We're talking easy 20 miles. These people were having to go out of their way as opposed to literally a 1 mile trip from, let's say, Punta Rassa Marina to get out in the Gulf. There were a lot of really unhappy people. Well, that ended our trips, or my trips, accompanying my friend on the boat for several months. But that was by the grace of God that I was not there participating in that they literally swam the mile back to the marina. Another event that I was not involved in that involved that same friend, there's a, and still is, a public golf course in town. Some Friday night, I was not with my friend, but apparently he and another couple friends ran around the golf course at night and stole all the pin flags, all 18 flags from the various holes. He took them home, carrying these 18 pin flags. Well, apparently, as according to my friend, what happened was Saturday morning it made the local news that somebody had stolen the pin flags. And because my friend had been out late doing this deed, he was oversleeping, and his father had heard the news and apparently walked into the bedroom, made the comment along the lines of, "I heard some idiots were out at the golf course last night and stole all the pin flags. I wonder which one of your idiot friends did it." At that point, the father looked down at the bed and saw, poking out from underneath the bed, were the flags. I wonder which one of your idiot friends. Well, it was his son. I will tell you, this friend of mine, I still keep in touch with him. He has developed in a very successful career. Very successful. He's a respected businessman in the community that he now lives, and unbelievable. Served as president of the county school board for a period of time. That's just hysterical. That I know this guy's background and now a respected member of the community, and his father's thought about which one of your idiot friends did this. Anyway, I was not involved. I had no part in any of this. Honest to God, I was not involved. There but the grace of God go I. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed this episode.